Welcome back to another episode of the Culture Hour. My name is Shelley Smith, and I'm honored to have another great guest with us today and put a spin and a twist on our normal talk. But for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, the Culture Hour is everything workplace related. It's everything in the people zone. You know, inside a business, there's strategy, execution, cash, and people, and it all begins, ends with people. So everything that we will discuss today is around the world of people, workplace culture, engagement, retention, and the almighty flow or ebb and flow of the workplace itself. So today I would like to introduce you to our guest. Her name is Conor Murphy, and Conor comes to us as the program director with Girls Inc. inside of the New Hampshire, the lovely state of New Hampshire. And so let me get the full title. I had to write this down. Girls Inc. of New Hampshire, program coordinator of Nashua. Did I say all that correct?
Yes.
We're close. Okay. All right. Well, very good. So, Conor, why don't you tell the viewers and the listeners a little bit about yourself over the next, 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll dive into a great, healthy conversation.
Right. So I am originally from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and after graduating from the University of Mary Washington in Fredericksburg, I decided to do answer the call, I guess you could say, for national service, and I did a year of AmeriCorps Vista work in Concord, New Hampshire, and worked with developmental screening in the state level. And towards the end of that, I was thinking, next steps. I'm still not sure what I want to do with my life. And I did a second year, but through a nonprofit with the national organization, CASA of New Hampshire, which helps provide advocates for children who are being abused or neglected and are in the court system now, and they speak for those children. And loved it. I loved being a part of kind of the nonprofit, I guess, bubble, we could call it. And I felt like they got a lot more done than they did at the state level, at least just from what I saw. And so I knew after that year that I wanted to remain in the nonprofit sector and trying to, engage in different passions that I have. And Girls Inc. came a few months after that, and I just fell in love, and I was like, oh, please let me get this job.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm with them since January 28th, so the end of January. And it's been amazing, and I've really found kind of my niche of what I like to do. And yeah.
No, I think that's great. And why don't you, again, because everybody may not be familiar with Girls
Okay.
Inc., you guys
Yeah.
are literally all over the place.
Yeah.
So why don't you give a little bit of background about what it is that you guys do and what your focus
Yes.
is?
So we're actually in a unique position too, because Girls Inc. is, like you said, a national. It's all over, and it's usually city-based, where we are actually a statewide. So we have actually 2 centers, which is also sometimes unique for Girls Inc. To have. So we have centers that the girls can physically go to and visit and be at, and offering after-school programs. And then during their school vacation weeks, we offer a full day program. And in the summer, we offer a summer camp. So we can help low income families. They can get state help to send their girls for different reasons. We a lot of times help kids who are in the foster system or have had DCYF, or those, they will sometimes refer the children to the girls to us, and we are just girls only, girl focused, and we do have intentional programming to make sure that girls end up strong, smart, bold is kind of our tagline. And so we, they don't just come and have a free-for-all. We have deliberate plans for them to do after school. They'll have a snack, they'll do their homework, and then we go into different, whether it's like right now the girls are doing the bold programming and really looking at teasing and bullying and doing different activities that are centered around that. Or it could be, something STEM related. We do have a STEM coordinator that comes to the center, and she'll do different science or engineering. They do a Lego league. So we're really engaging the girls at kind of all angles
Mm-hmm.
to kind of keep that passion. We do reading with them and all sorts of, and we just really provide that safe place and that consistency that is really important for kids who don't have consistency at home, possibly,
Mm-hmm.
and to have adults that they can trust, that they, cares about them and will be like a lending ear for them is so important. And just hearing from, girls that have grown up and become adults, and they just really thank Girls Inc. for being that for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of, I've been newer staff, but a lot of them have been there for 20 years, 20
Mm.
plus years. So and that to me, when I heard that, like when I was being interviewed by these women, I was like, oh, this is a good place,
Yeah.
because for a nonprofit, like, it's so important to have that consistency. I think,
Yeah.
from what I've seen, and it really made me like, okay, I want to be a part of that team.
Yeah.
So it's a really great, from the top down. I think it just really gets, it's a really, great organization.
It's a good one. So
Yeah.
when was it first established again?
It was established, I believe, it was in 86, I think. So I
Okay.
think they're just above their 30 mark. I know our CEO has been there for 23 years. So yeah, it's
Okay.
been after an established, and they used to be more centers. I think there was one up in the Lakes region, but they just had a lower number. So we now just do outreach, is what we call it,
Okay.
where we have different staff that are dedicated to going to Concord,
Mm-hmm.
or the Lakes. I think we even have some in Maine and Vermont that will go to those kind of border towns.
Okay.
Do kind of the after school, like the 21C, which is kind of those after school programmings, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of our presence in those.
So in the programming
Mm-hmm.
pieces, what are again, just for clarity for those listening or
Mm-hmm.
watching, the age groups are anywhere from the early elementary
Yes.
into, it can go into the high school piece,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of your core is that, coming of age, if you will,
Yeah.
today's coming of age in the middle
Yes.
school and late
Yes.
elementary. It's crazy
Yeah.
how they
Yes.
grow up. I have a
Oh, it's insane.
15-year-old and it's insane. But I'm curious, is there what the interaction is on the traditional corporate side in the
Mm-hmm.
various locations that you guys have?
Mm-hmm.
How do you build those relationships?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just talk to us about building those relationships and things that companies can do for the
Yeah.
local Girls Inc. that they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is, like we said, widespread. So it's kind of reaching out and looking at what's in your area. I know some, if they are centers, can always use like leftover office supplies that you're just not going to use, like paper, pens,
Hmm.
pencils, that, just those simple donations, like
Hmm.
they go a long way. Or
Hmm.
if it's monetary, um, we have different stores, even just around the mall, that will give us like clothes that just didn't sell, that they just do
Hmm.
give,
Nice.
give those to the girls.
Hmm.
And it's always such a great, they love it, because it's a fun,
Hmm.
so whether it's donation based or monetary, it is something I know we have like a CEO, we have that administration level, and then
Right.
they, do the outreach for that. Um,
What
and
about coming in and speaking,
mm,
mentoring, being a part of your specific programs? Are
yeah,
there some hot topics or some success stories or some, again, things to just kind of give the
yeah.
viewers and listeners some ideas?
Yeah, so we actually just had someone reach out to us with an organization called Nashua. So that was city local.
Hmm.
And they contacted us, and we brought the girls, and they met at the library, and they learned how to build these kind of self-watering pots. And so
Hmm.
they built those. And then just last week, they brought it to the center, and he came and helped plant for them. So they're going to have like squash,
Hmm.
and I believe a pumpkin, maybe some tomatoes. And so
Nice.
then we'll be able to eat those at the center, because we also
Hmm.
provide meals for them.
Nice.
We do dinner every night. And then when they're there full day, we do breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner. So it'll be really kind of cool when those sprout and grow, and
Yeah,
then we're
that
able
is
to
to do.
pick them and
Yeah,
serve them.
from
So
beginning to end.
yeah.
Are there any particular folks, again, I know that you're fairly
Hmm.
new to the organization,
Hmm.
but because you guys have such, like you said, you
Hmm.
there's people that have been there for years. Are
Hmm.
there people inside of now, they've gone through the program
Hmm.
and now they're out adulting
Yeah.
that have been through that are sitting, at the
Hmm.
table and are presence in organizations that you can tell us a little bit more about? And maybe the
Um,
impact that the program had on them as they went and got jobs and,
yeah,
out into the
no,
world.
yeah, I know there was, because we had our big gala and they were telling just different stories. And there was
Hmm.
one of a girl who grew up in Concord, and she really latched on to, I believe she was the mentoring, but she really wanted to go to this really prestigious high school that's in Concord that you have to apply. It's very
Hmm.
expensive. And she um, studied really hard with this one staff member and then got in and was then able to use that to then get into college and have that, different success. And there's been other girls that do, they come from, just the worst beginning for a kid, whether it's
Yeah.
parents or it's just the most struggle, then they're, kind of brought to the center. And some of them, will be kind of negative about being there. The kids, just
Hmm.
being like, I don't want to be there. But, they'll say when they grow up, like, yeah, that was the best place, like they
Yeah.
know that, like, this is where they need to be, even though they
Hmm.
are being, a middle schooler, that late elementary where they're just like,
Gonna say
nothing
any
will
kid would
please
do
you.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing will please
it
you.
doesn't matter the upbringing. They're all
Exactly. You just kind of go, okay, well, you're here, so let's just move on.
yeah.
And it's just, and that's what I tell myself, when they are
Hmm.
negative, that it's not like, it's not about me, it's
Yeah.
about what's going on at home, or
Yeah.
what's in their life. And I know there have been a few girls that have then come back, to the center, and like our operations coordinator, so she oversees
Nice.
kind of both centers,
Hmm.
is like the mother hen, like they
Hmm.
all come back and they know her, love her, and she, because she saw them at the centers and she's been there, another one that's been there like 20 plus years. And it's really cool to see that just connection and the power she has
Hmm.
when she walks in the room, because she really is that support for them and cares about them, and like knows the families, knows that sort of thing. I know she has said that a few of her girls have now had girls in their, coming
Hmm.
to the center, just
Hmm.
of girls that she helped when they were little. So it's really cool.
Well, what's interesting is that everything that your program does and then
Hmm.
other similar programs is the same thing that employers need to do inside of their workplace,
Hmm.
and that is to make the people that are coming, in your
Hmm.
case, they're being told or mandated or
Hmm.
what
Right.
have you, pressured
Right.
into attend. And in the workplace, we have to go to work because we have to
Hmm.
survive. We have to get the paycheck. But what
Right.
happens inside of your
Hmm.
organization and inside of all the
Hmm.
organizations that are out there, that's what makes people feel seen, valued, and heard. So we come reluctantly to a program or to work with, we don't want to get up, we don't
Hmm.
want to do this, we don't want to deal with this person or this thing today. But
Right.
as we are brought in and really cherished,
Hmm.
value,
Hmm.
mentor, molded, feel
Hmm.
like we're a part of the actual community inside,
Hmm.
that makes all the difference in the world. And we bring that home
Hmm.
and in every walk of our life. And I think
Hmm.
that's what's great about the programs that you have is
Hmm.
it's teaching the future female leaders,
Hmm. Hmm.
the importance of that and how to maneuver around those difficult and uncomfortable, conversations. So
Hmm.
I think that programs like this are just so incredible. And I thank you for the work that you do and for all of the program directors and everybody out there in Girls Inc. So I think it's amazing. So can you give, we're going to start to go into a little bit of a
Hmm.
wrap up mode, but
Hmm.
can you give maybe have you had any aha moments or anything that really jolted you from, wow, this is the right thing to do, or
Hmm.
wow, that was incredible to see this just anything that's
Yeah.
just kind of that.
Yeah, I mean, I've really seen, even in the like few months, that I've been in, it was within like a month that I just felt already connected to these kids, and that is
Hmm.
kind of my personality.
Hmm.
I am just kind of I am like that. But it was just really cool showing up, and when, you know, they come to you for a problem like that, like when I got my first problem, you know, with a kid just saying like, this is what's going on at home, or this is what, you know, I'm dealing with, and being able to sit with them and talk with them and just be that person, that listening ear. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like I've made it, like in, you know, with
Mm-hmm.
their world, because it took some time to really feel that they trusted me.
I was going to
Um,
say it's the almighty trust. It's the
yeah,
same thing in an
exactly.
organization. Yep.
Yep. And so like I felt like, oh, this is okay, I'm doing it right. You know, I might have
Mm-hmm.
felt a little overwhelmed at first, because it's a lot coming at you, and there's a lot of bodies that you have to care about.
Yeah.
And to be able to feel that, like, you know, that they all can come up to me, or, you know, just different, you know, and having those relationships, I think is just, it really helps, you know, when you have
Mm-hmm.
even just a start to a bad day, or like something
Yes.
happens, they get even just a hug, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, you know,
Yep.
like it just, you're like, okay, I can keep
It's a
going,
good
you know?
thing. You can tell you're
Yeah.
making an impact. And
Yeah.
again, from from a leadership standpoint,
Hmm.
that foundation of trust, so much of my work that I do with clients is helping
Hmm.
the teams go through those pillars of trust.
Hmm.
And once you do have those fundamental blocks there, you're right. When there's something tough that's going
Hmm.
on, whether it's work or personal, it
Hmm.
just adds to the conversation in a different way where you feel like that you can help and get some resolve. Now, of
Hmm.
course, in the workplace, we can't do hugging
Right.
anymore. If you didn't get that memo, you can't do that. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The foundation of trust, and again, I think the importance of what Girls Inc. does and is building that inside
Hmm.
of the confidence
Hmm.
of these young ladies and our future
Hmm.
leaders. I think is
Hmm.
incredible because it absolutely has a direct correlation into the future workers of the world.
Hmm.
You know, for that. So the other thing is the ability to listen. I think that
Hmm.
you are being taught as a program
Hmm.
director, and you're also on that receiving end of the listening skills. And I think, again, the engagement of that and the ability to listen and really root problem solve to
Hmm.
help people get over the hump or to look at it in a different view, I think is an incredible piece that you are probably still learning yourself because I know I continue to learn that every day, and
Yeah.
then being around people that are looking at that with a different view and a different lens, I think is an
Hmm.
incredible piece. So I thank you for that as well. And again, it's something that I highly encourage all of our listeners that are out adulting in the world to be better listeners and to better connect instead of bringing our biases and being dismissive and making
Hmm.
assumptions and because somebody might be hardwired different than us. So I think that that's an incredible correlation
Yeah.
between what you're doing in your nonprofit to
Hmm.
the standard corporate America piece or whatever walk that you're
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
in the world piece. So correct me if I'm wrong. It's girlsinc.org, not .com. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, that's the
Okay.
national, and then that's,
Okay.
you can
And
find.
then I will put the website,
Mhm.
if you're watching this on replay or listening, I will have the website link. So you should, definitely go out. If you're listening, you want to know more and look up the organization and see how you can get involved. And whether you've got a lovely daughter that you would like to get involved, or you would like to donate, or you would like to come in and see how you can help or mentor, do a panel talk or what have you. But these are also things that you can do for your team members and make sure that the families inside of your organizations know about organizations like these because it helps the young adults and the future leaders. And here we're talking specific about women, integrate into the world and and be themselves, but to integrate with confidence. And confidence is such a piece that is lacking in today's world. And I am certainly not a doctor, but the mental woes that are happening inside of our society are, stem from not having the support and not having these resources such as a Girls Inc. So I think the power is just an incredible piece. So again, I thank you and I thank your organization for this, and I thank you for your time today.
Thanks, no problem.
Are there any final, comments or correlations that you would like to draw into what Girls Inc. does for, the future workers of America?
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, no, we definitely, I know nationwide, we really work to, we do have a program on economic stability and being smart with your money.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely, whenever our girls, whether they've left the center, reach out to us about, getting a job with us or even just job advice,
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of our staff are, right on there because we really, I mean, from when they're 5 to 25, they mean everything, or even older. But yeah,
Yeah.
like it's important. So they always a girls Inc. girl. That's kind of what they say. Like, I'm a girls Inc. girl, and it's
Nice.
worn with pride. So it's really it's awesome.
I love that. I love the compri. That's the, the good old boys club, but this is
Hmm.
the good old girls club, which
Yes,
again,
exactly.
I think is incredibly important because I don't have anything, wrong with the thought behind the good old boys club. I always
Hmm.
wanted to have a good old girls club
Hmm.
because really it's supposed to be the go-to.
Hmm.
Like you said, it's that
Hmm.
camaraderie, it's that center, that influence, the core
Hmm.
values, the,
Hmm.
it's having somebody to call on. It's been there, done that, and you don't have to start from scratch. And I just think,
Hmm.
again, that's just incredibly important. And women do not have the years
Hmm.
of having
Right.
those clubs and those mentors that men do. Just
Hmm.
because that's how it is. Nothing wrong, nothing right. Just it's how it
Right.
is. So, it is what it is.
We're working on it.
Exactly. We're working on it, and that's what we need to do. So again, Conor Murphy, program director up in the New Hampshire area with Girls Inc. And thank you for joining us today.
No,
We
thank
really
you.
appreciate
Yeah.
your time. And for those of you who are interested, the Culture Hour takes some different twists, turns, and conversations, but I always try to do my best to wrap it back around the importance of being seen, valued, and heard as an employee, as a human being, and bringing it inside the workplace because that's truly what allows for the retention and the proper alignment inside of your organization. And there's all kinds of things that we can do that do not add layers, but actually add value. And Girls Inc. is that type of organization that can help your organization add value in like maybe you never even thought about before. So until next time, my name is Shelley Smith. If you would like to hear more about the Culture Hour, if you'd like to be a guest on the Culture Hour, or you have a recommendation, please feel free in reaching out to me on my many social media platforms. Until then, remember culture matters and have a great day. Thank you again, Conor.
No problem. Thank you.